Hey, what's up my fellow Rust survivors? Welcome back to a new video. This is actually a 10 tips and tricks video that every single Rust player should know. Some can be advanced, some of them can be slightly more simple. Most of them are somewhat advanced, I would say. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. By the way, just a very quick thing to just say to my daily viewers, because I upload every single day. Sorry that I couldn't make a vanilla video today. I just could not bother getting on a server and just playing for no reason on last day of life. I'm sorry, okay? You can yell at me down in the comments. It's okay. It's fine. So the very first tip that I have is hammering stashes. Now hammering stashes, now like what do you exactly mean? So let's say that you're just looking for stashes, or like you know like the general area where some are, whatever it is, right? You can actually use this hammer right here to help you find it quicker. So if I just go around like this and just constantly swing, it's like, okay, what is this doing though? What is it doing? Oh wait, what the heck's that? It's hitting the ground. Oh, because there's stashes here. What the heck? And I put down stashes like everywhere, like right here. But yeah, pretty much this is a way of finding stashes. So like I could go anywhere all over here and it's not going to happen because there's no stashes here. But if you're above a stash that is inside the ground buried and you just swing a hammer on top of it, it'll actually end up coming up. So yeah, that's tip number one. And yeah. Also, feel free to tell me how many tips you actually learned on this video, despite how many hours you have, whether if you're new or not. Like, well, because I mean, like, if you're new, then you're gonna catch stuff from this video, like, literally no matter what. But if you have like 2,000 hours, tell me, like, did you learn like anything, and which ones did you learn? I'm very curious. And then tip number two now, okay? Tip number two, splitting stacks, okay? So now the way that you pretty much have to do this is actually another thing that actually just uses your scroll wheel, pressing it down, right? So splitting stacks, you can just split it in half just like that, you know? Very simple. 500 or 1,000 to 500, two sets 500. Pretty simple. Now the way that a lot of people don't know about doing this is that you can actually get thirds like this. And I see people in the comments and stuff saying, yo man, like how do you do that? You actually hold down shift as you do the exact same thing. So pretty much I'm going to hold down shift, then use my scroll wheel, drag. You can see that it takes out a third. Now obviously to get the other third out of this, I mean it's 2/3. So cut that in half. Don't even have to hold shift. Boom. Now you have 3 sets of pretty much equal amount. And now you can easily start smelting stuff inside of your furnace just like that right there. Very simple. And again, on console, I'm not too sure exactly what the whole procedure is with splitting stacks and everything like that, or even if it's doable. But yeah. The whole thirds thing, a lot of people don't actually know that, and it's very helpful. And I was so excited when that came out around like a year and a half ago, I think it was, or something like that. Now the third thing, the third tip, okay, is Icepick mining. Now this one right here isn't like a crazy tip, but hey, it can save a little bit of time, right? So if you go up to a node right here with only an ice pick, this goes for no other pickaxes at all, only this individual ice pick, and you miss the hotspot with your first hit and then only hit the hotspot, so that's 1 hit, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's broken. Now let's go up here and hit this one right here, only hitting the hotspot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not hitting the hotspot actually with the first hit actually saves you 1 extra hit. Not like it's a crazy tip that everyone like needs to know, but hey, I mean like it's something to know, right? It's something to listen. Okay, the reason that that's a tip in this video is simply because that might save you at some point, you know, like you might be getting ready to get shot at, and that 1 extra hit could have kept you standing still long enough to get killed, okay? So pretty much what I'm saying is that, yeah, I'm saving your life right now by telling you that, all right? Only with the ice pick, though. Metal pick, it does not work. Stone pick, it does not work. Only the ice pick, so yeah. So now that right there brings us to tip number 4, my friends, the old FOV command or a view model command, whatever you really want to look at it as. Around a year and a half ago, Rust actually changed like the FOV of everyone's like gun and whatever. It doesn't actually zoom out your gun or like your screen at all, right? Because you can see like I can change my FOV right here to either like all the way zoomed in, zoomed out, right? Everyone's preference is different, and I'm not going to judge you for what you rock. But I feel like we can all agree that this command right here, you guys can look at my gun right now. Is there anything wrong with it in your guys' eyes? It's just an AK. What? Like what's the big deal, right? If you actually do VM_FOV scale 0, right now it's actually on 1. So right now it's on 1. If you change that to 0 though, boom, look at how much more the gun shows. I think that's a very big thing, and I feel like most people would want to play like that. So if you're new and you've been wondering how players' guns are like more like zoomed out like this, that's how. And I feel like that's a very big thing that not all new Rust players really know at all, and they would have never even thought that's even a possibility. But yeah, you can actually get a better FOV of your gun, I guess you could say, and just like meds and everything. Like look at how like more zoomed in that is if it's on 1, and like your game is defaulted on 1, I believe, to make it more zoomed in like that. So you actually have to go into the console and manually change that command right there to 0 to actually fix that. But yeah, very amazing command, and yeah, it's amazing. Now for tip number 5, we get into the binding crafting, right? So pretty much what I mean by that is that you can hit a key on your keyboard to literally craft specific items. The only one that I have it set to is bandages because I just feel like that's the most ideal. You could easily do syringes, doors, tool cupboards, whatever you really want. The thing is, you need to look up the item ID number. Okay, so one of my favorite websites when it comes to this type of thing specifically as well is Rust Labs. This is an amazing website that like you can just kind of come to calculate how much boom it takes to raid whatever it is that you're raiding and just different stuff like that. Look at all the different items in the game, just everything, right? Like this is like your go-to place, rustlabs.com. So pretty much, let's say that you're wanting to bind a bandage, kind of how I have mine, right? You would type in bandage here, or you could go to items and go into like medical and everything like that, like items, medical, then you could like look at syringe and just everything like that, right? So I guess we can actually just do syringe. I'm going to get a medical syringe bind right now, but I would recommend doing bandage, man. Bandage is very, very helpful. So we go right here to this syringe page. You see the identifier number right there. So I Control-C that to copy it. Then I come right here and then type in bind, and then whatever key you want to use to bind it with, go ahead and put that there. I'm just going to do the letter O, all right? I'm just going to do the letter O and then craft.add, and then boom, the number that the number or the identifying number of the item that I'm wanting to do. So the number in this case is a medical syringe. So if I hit enter, then I hit O right now, boom, just now crafted up a syringe. Even though I don't have any of the items on me, yeah, like I'm on a creative server, so I automatically have all the items in the game. But yeah, pretty much like if I want to craft a bandage, I hit I to craft that because I already had that one set up. Then now I just set up the medical syringe bind, boom, make a syringe, just like that. So those commands can come in very, very clutch, especially if like you die outside your base and like you need to get a little bit of resources to craft up bandages or syringes. Literally just take out all the resources, then you don't even have to like open up like the crafting menu and like go through this and that to like start crafting it. You can just literally just spam a key to get a certain amount going, and then boom, like you're freaking ready to go, you know? So yeah, I highly recommend that. Maybe look into different things like you could bind that could be very, very helpful, and yeah, it's really, really awesome. Now the next one is a pretty simple one, but I feel like new players might sleep on this idea more than not, and even high hour players. Sometimes I even kind of sleep on it, but I've recently found myself doing it more than not when I have the availability to and I actually live near Outpost. But you can buy a blue card from Outpost, right? Like a good amount of people might know that, but I feel like new players might not. And so, because sometimes it can be annoying getting that blue card. You know, like you go to Sewer Branch, you go to Harbor, they're looted, right? And so it's like, what do you do? Well, luckily Outpost has an infinite source of them that you can just come over here and buy, where the jackhammer and stuff is. We look at Outpost right here, come down here by this like recycler area, go through here whatever way like you really want to go, and then you come right over here, and then boom, blue card for 100 scrap. And 100 scrap is nothing. It's super easy to get. So if you're not really able to get your hands on a blue card, I'd recommend just doing that whole process, because that is nice and quick. There's no way that it's going to be gone because someone bought them all or something like that, right? Like, because some of these rad towns are just always looted, especially early wipe when everyone's just grinding. So honestly, you're probably just better off just going and just buying one if you live near Outpost, or you can go to Bandit, use the drone system, spend 120 scrap to get it delivered there. Okay, so the 7th tip that we now have is the mixing table. This could be looked at as kind of a simple tip to a lot of different people that actually play this game a lot, but to a lot of the console players, if you guys have a mixing table over there, this is something that you need to actually know because it can be very helpful. It's easy to run out of charcoal and still stay afloat on sulfur. You're going to eventually run out of charcoal unless you have a lot already stacked up. So what you can do, you can actually get a mixing table. It costs 175 scrap from a bandit camp, or you can just find it inside of crates. It's a little bit more of a rare item to find inside of crates though. And you can see that 10 gunpowder cost 20 cooked sulfur and 20 charcoal. Now what's so good about that, right? You go right here into the crafting menu. If you just craft gunpowder the normal way, it costs 30 charcoal and 20 sulfur. And so with this, you actually use 33% less charcoal with a mixing table. And as soon as you get one of these or buy one and like you want to start using it, literally learn it inside of a research table, 75 scrap I believe it is, and then literally craft them because it costs 200 metal frags and 100 stone for each of these. You can plop down like 6 of these things and just go crazy just crafting a bunch of gunpowder. And honestly, I would say that 1 is fine for solo players, but you know, the bigger the group you are, the more you're actually probably going to need. And it all just kind of depends on your playstyle and how fast you're wanting to get gunpowder cooked up and everything like that, because the more of these things you have, the more efficient you're going to be, right? But a lot of us solo players aren't really in like the biggest rush to just get like 5k GP made. Like, we're willing to be patient. We have a lot of just different stuff to always be doing. So yeah, feel free to get like 6 of these things lined up. If that suits your personal needs and your playstyle, then go for it. Now tip number 8 here is actually a settings tip, which some people might be lost, like a settings tip, like what do you mean? Like, what is like gonna be like changing your settings to give us a tip? Like, what's like the big deal here, right? There's actually a very major setting, and that's max shadow lights right here. This is actually a very important one. if you're looking to see more information on like your Rust map, I guess, let's just say. So pretty much, let me just show you what this setting does and you can have your own thoughts about it, right? Most people like to play with it on 0, but if you like it on max, then you play with it on max. But it definitely puts you at a disadvantage playing with it on max. So if I turn the time on this server right now all the way down, right, to nighttime, and I put down this base right here. These are all wood walls, keep in mind, right here, okay? Now if I put down this barrel, turn on a campfire, then put on this wall, right? This is just an example to just show like the lights. The light comes out, right? Pretty normal. Nice, okay? Like, what's so important about it? If you go into here and you're someone that's always on max settings and all like this different stuff, you have your settings maxed out, literally just having this on 1, look at that. There's no light outside of it really at all. Then if you turn it on max, it's pretty much like the exact same thing. 1 through 3 is like the exact same effect, but if you turn it on 0, get ready? Boom. It creates this entire different thing. So let's go ahead and just say this right here is your base and you have a campfire on to light up the place, right? Like as it's nighttime, okay? It's nighttime and you obviously want to light up the place, right? Literally, if you are inside of here, and let's just say that that over there is like another room and like this wall right here is a door, let's just say. This is how it'll look with max shadow lights on 0, how you should have it. But if you have it up, you're going to need a light inside this room as well. You're going to need a light inside of every single room that does not make contact with that room over there because the shadows are just overly realistic with that. Is that kind of a cool thing and like it looks nice like this? Sure, like it looks nice, but I would not be playing on normal servers like this. Like this is more of like a roleplay server type thing. You should not be playing with your settings like this on a normal server because I just feel like it puts you at too much of a disadvantage. There's a lot of bases that are outside and everything, and you're not even going to be able to see them lit up. Like this right here. Like sometimes you can tell when someone's active because you can actually see light at their base. If you have this right here turned up, you're never going to know who's active and who's not. You can see a little bit of smoke come out of the top, but with a big base, you're not even going to be able to see anything. So yeah, I would highly recommend playing with max shadow lights on 0 all day. I would not play higher than 0 at all. And now this right here brings me to tip number 9, my friends. It's called the pump jack. This thing is located in 2 different spots on the Rust map, and that is at train yard and at water treatment. There could be another one somewhere on the Rust map, but I don't really think that there is, because these things right here are not to be confused with like the high qual quarry and stuff like that, right? This right here is like its own thing. It automatically spawns in like the same spot at these different rad towns, aka water treatment and train yard. That's the 2 spots off top that I can think of. They could be located in other spots, but I don't think so. So it's like, what is this thing special for exactly? Because new players probably get on this game, know nothing about it, look at it, and just don't think anything of it because I never see it get used by anybody. Do I use it? I never really touch this thing because, I mean, I don't know. Like it could, I mean, it's like it's useful, right? And so if I have 20 low grade and I come over here, right, and I get up on top of this thing, right, come up the ladder, put this right here inside of there, boom, and then start this engine. You can see that it starts to do something right here, you know? Guys, it's just pumping some jack up right now, right? So pretty much what this thing does, you can see that if I just come over here, crude oil actually starts to come out. 1 low grade generates 1 crude oil, and why is that good? Well, if you can see right here that if I put down an oil refinery, which is what you cook the crude oil inside of, if I cook this, how much low grade do we actually get out of it? 4, 3, what is it, guys? So as you can see that if we just cook up a thing of crude oil, we get 3 low grade. I thought that it could have been 4 possibly, but yeah, no, it's 3. So pretty much the way that this right here works is as you put low grade inside of there, 1 low grade equals 1 crude oil. 1 crude oil equals 3 low grade. So this right here could be a way that you want to get more low grade in like whatever way. Like, so let's say that you only have 20 low grade, kind of like what I put inside there, because you just don't want to go and hit barrels on the road for whatever reason you can come up with, right? Maybe it's just too populated. I don't know what the deal is, but you can come here, exchange the 20 low grade for 20 crude oil, and then actually go back home with 60 low grade after cooking the crude oil. So listen, guys, that's helpful, okay? That's helpful, and guess what? Someone definitely just now learned what that thing is used for, period, okay? And then that now brings me to tip number 10, the last one, and then we're going to also have the bonus one to show on how you can enable pirate language in the game to just have a little bit of extra fun, right? The last tip, though, is called the middle mouse mass craft, okay? So pretty much what this does, I can't show you guys right now because I'm on this building service, and so there's going to be an example. It's up on the screen right now. So this right here is going to be a quick example on pretty much what the middle mouse mass craft is. Pretty much you push down your middle mouse over something inside your quick craft menu, and it crafts it quick. This guy right here, he was leaving Outpost full of wood. He just now went over to Outpost, bought a crap ton of wood. We just now Ended up killing him. He just now F1 killed. He just now blew up with a bunch of wood, as we can see right there. So now we're going to go ahead and walk up to him. Boom, here we are with all this wood right here. And it's like, okay, what is going on? Then I just get a screenshot for a thumbnail, and it's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start picking up all this right here. And yeah, I better start crafting stuff up very, very quickly. So then I go right there, just start using middle mouse, then boom, instantly it crafts it all right there, just like nothing, which is nuts. And like that's pretty much like what I mean by doing it like that, because each time that you do the middle mouse mass craft, as I hovered over the TCs, it crafts 5 at a time. So that's a very, very helpful thing. And then yeah, even more wood. It's so disgusting. I got so much from this guy. So that right there was the last tip, my friends. Easy. You can just like kill someone, get like an inventory and a half of wood, mass craft it up just nice and quick like that so you can get out of there. You can also manually craft it all up, but just spamming middle mouse like that is going to make it happen very, very quickly and very, very easily, right? And just make it way, way more efficient with like me actually getting out of that situation for killing that guy with all that wood. But yeah, pretty much the last and bonus tip that I have for you. You hit escape, right? And then there's this like icon right here. Now you can choose from all these different languages, right? Pirate language is the one that obviously is a skull and 2 swords clashing, and so you just pretty much click on that, and then you can see, literally, you can see that check your sales is your settings, right? It's it's hilarious. Treasure stash is your inventory. Swagger merchant is the skins that are out each week, right? So it's like, yeah, like pirate language makes it fun. AK is called auto musket, jackhammer is called automatic hammer, syringe, sticko fat injection, 5.56 standard musket rounds, metal face mask, Taliban mask, metal chest piece, metal chest plate, okay. Road sign kilt, shiny metal booty cover. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then one more thing to just know. Arrows are called this right here. Am I going to say it? No, I don't say the R word, guys. It's not really my cup of tea, okay? Yet, it being called, that doesn't really, like, make me be like, nah, man, I can't play on pirate language. That's way, way too inappropriate. It's like, I don't say the words, all right? So, that's enough for me. Anyways, you guys will have a great day. Drop a like if you ended up learning something new. And if you did learn anything new, feel free to let me know exactly what it was, which tip was the most helpful to you. I'm very, very curious. I want to see what a lot of you new Rust players actually just now learned from this, because I don't put out these types of videos that often. I daily upload mostly just solo Rust videos, us having fun, just like organic and just like raw Rust gameplay. Us losing, us winning, just how Rust is, right? Feel free to share this video with any of your friends that also might be new, or even just have thousands of hours in the game, just to see if they know of every single thing that I just now showed. Yeah, you have a blessed day, blessed night, whatever time it is for you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.